It is 10 to 1, well, 5 to 1. But mentoring, that's what I'm talking about today. It was really funny. I was working with a fellow having a discussion, but within Toastmasters, and he's in Uganda, and here I am in Canada. And I thought, how wonderful is it that we can be communicating and helping each other across the world, across the world. And he had done some writing that I thought, okay, that's a little bit like March to My Orders. That's not going to go over well, not with me, not with some people like me. But he's this good-looking young man, got the world by the tail and world on the string. So anyhow, I sent my little bit off, and he received it very well, and yet, and he was thankful for it. And here's the funny part. He's managing the meeting on Saturday, and the theme is around mentoring. So I said, well, now, isn't that apropos? And then there was a whole conversation around, this new word, apropos. But just the joy of being able to have our communication open enough to receive and to give, to be able to look at the areas where, okay, that feels a little militant, a little bit too ordered. And he didn't get offended with it. He says, I think I should rewrite. So we chatted back and forth. And, there's a bond that's created when we keep our minds open to mentoring. So I'm just going to go back to my notes here. If you have never been coached or mentored, shake your head. Of course you have. Big bang, there's a baby, comes out of mommy's belly, and guess what? Mommy and daddy and all the people around start to mentor you in whatever it is that they know, the good, the bad, the ugly. They coach you along. I know, sounds kind of weird, and you didn't have a choice to receive or to say no. And yet, in our innocence as babies, we receive what's around us. And that is the beginning of your coaching or your mentoring. When you said, no, what you did was tell mom and dad, no. So you were coaching and mentoring them on what your needs were or your emotions were. And so communication is really amazing. Now, I've become a coach as a career. But when I was still 45, I thought coaching was only for the wealthy. I know anybody would say, well, I could coach you on that. I think, that's only for the wealthy. I'm not allowed that. When I was 50 or so, I was amazed to find out that coaches had coaches. And I thought, wow, those coaches that are coaching the coaches must be really something. But it wasn't that they're really something. We all in our circle of life require coaching and mentoring. And so we are all coaching and mentoring. Now, I happen to have an expertise within the area of communication. Speak up. Live your life. Have confidence with it. Go into life with ease and flow. That's my area of expertise. But when I need to look at something else, I need to go somebody who's got that expertise. And so we get our coaching. Monique, if you're counting all my so's, I'll be in trouble. but we get all of these areas of expertise. And yet, at the base, we're all the same. Amazing coaches hiring coaches. What? And now as I look back on my decades, I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see most all, obstacles in my way. I can see clearly now that I have always been a coach. People have forever shown up on my doorstep and said, I need some of what you've got, or I need a pick-me-up, or I need some of that straight talk. That's who I am. And when I have needed help, I've been able to go to people and say, I don't know. It seems like I've offended and I'm not sure what I'm doing. But you see, it's the asking, it's the communication, it's the back and forth. And to go into that really deep, intense inner work that I often talk about, because I've done a lot of it, often does require some coaching, some questioning to get down in and find that clarity. And I love doing that as well. I had such a challenge separating out what I do. But at the end of the day, it all comes back to communication with self, with others, with our world, in whatever way it is. So, coaching and mentoring, yes, you choose who you're mentoring, who you're coaching, where you're being mentored from, who you're being coached from. And sometimes you just step right in and say, I need some intense work. I want to get this done in a specified time. And that's where coaches come in and you sign up with the packages. But anyhow, have a wonderful rest of the day. It's been a delight being back with you again. It's Coach Sandra, Compassionate Queen of Straight Talk, asking you, what's holding you back? What's holding you back? You can do it. I can help.